In the shadows of modern science, a discovery threatens to reshape the very essence of human life. Could cloning not only replicate humans but redefine what it means to be alive? How close are we to seeing human clones walking among us? Human cloning, once a science fiction dream, is no longer just theoretical. In labs around the world, scientists have made significant breakthroughs in cloning technology. But with these advancements come serious ethical and moral dilemmas that could affect millions of lives. As the world grapples with these revelations, the question remains, where should we draw the line between progress and humanity? The story of human cloning begins long before the first cloning experiments were attempted. In 1996, Dolly the sheep made headlines as the first mammal to be cloned from an adult somatic cell. This breakthrough set the stage for human cloning, igniting both excitement and fear in equal measure. By the early 2000s, several research groups began experimenting with cloning human cells, most notably the efforts by scientists at the South Korean laboratory of Woo-suk. In 2004, Hwang's team claimed to have successfully cloned human embryos. But this was just the beginning, and a controversial one. As the science progressed, so did the ethical debates. In 2005, after reports of fraudulent data from Hwang's team, international outrage erupted, and the scientific community was forced to confront the implications of cloning once more. By the 2010s, cloning technology began to improve, albeit in the realm of animals, with some promising advances in primates, such as macaques. But the real question remained, could cloning ever be done safely and ethically on humans? The debate rages on today. In the early days, claims of successful human cloning were based on experimental results that were later debunked. One of the most infamous examples comes from Dr. Woo-suk, whose 2004 papers in Science initially claimed the successful cloning of human embryos. However, investigations revealed that his results were falsified, casting a shadow over the entire field of human cloning research. Despite these setbacks, cloning has remained a subject of intense interest, with major scientific institutions continuing their research. In 2018, researchers at the Oregon Health and Science University, OHSU, in the U.S. reported cloning primates, including the birth of 2 genetically identical macaques, marking a new frontier in cloning. What we know, primate cloning is possible. What we don't know, human cloning is still unproven and highly controversial. As the science of cloning evolves, so do the differing opinions. Some scientists argue that human cloning could be the key to breakthroughs in regenerative medicine, where clones might be used to grow tissues or organs for transplants. Others remain adamantly opposed, warning of the moral and psychological ramifications of creating genetically identical humans. What if cloning a human could lead to the destruction of individuality? There are also significant gaps in understanding. How will cloning affect human identity? How will society treat cloned individuals? Many of these questions remain unanswered, and as technology advances, the ethical conversation is nowhere near settled. The potential human impact of cloning is profound. If successful, human cloning could lead to the creation of genetically identical individuals, raising questions about the dignity and rights of these clones. Would they be seen as second-class citizens? What happens when a clone is treated as a mere copy of another person, rather than an individual with their own identity? Reports of designer babies and the potential for cloning to create a class of genetically enhanced humans could have far-reaching effects on how we view human life. While some argue that cloning could help infertile couples have children, the implications for society as a whole could be far more complex and potentially harmful. To understand the significance of cloning, imagine this. Cloning is like copying a highly detailed blueprint of a building. On the surface, it seems harmless, until you realize that the new structure might have the same flaws as the original. Experts like Dr. Maria Fernanda, a bioethicist, explain it this way: cloning doesn't just replicate cells. It replicates all the complexities of human nature. The question is, do we have the right to make that choice for someone else? This isn't just about science. It's about who controls that science and what it means for future generations. From a cultural perspective, cloning challenges our understanding of family, legacy, and identity. If we can create life from a genetic blueprint, what does that mean for the natural order? What we know, human cloning is scientifically possible, but the risks and ethical dilemmas are massive. The science has progressed in animals, but it is still not safe or ethical to clone humans at scale. What we don't know, how we will regulate this technology in the future, and whether cloning will ever be ethically accepted by society. What happens when we face the reality of human cloning could forever alter how we view humanity. In the near future, human cloning could become a reality, though the journey remains highly uncertain. Scientists may develop methods that make cloning safer and more acceptable to the public, but the ethical debate will continue. There will likely be more advancements in cloning research, especially in regenerative medicine, with cloning becoming a part of the therapeutic landscape. As cloning technology improves, debates over its ethical implications will grow louder, especially as it begins to be used for medical purposes. Governments may impose strict bans on human cloning due to public backlash and potential abuse, leading to limited applications in the scientific community. The science of human cloning is at a crossroads, one that could change the course of human history. We may be closer than ever to unlocking its potential, but the question remains: should we? If you found this story intriguing, check out our next video, The Ethics of Genetic Engineering. What are we really doing to our DNA?